I'm 46, retired, broke, and broken. What a title. But more than a title, what a life. I served in the military for 16 and a half years between the Navy and the Army. And that career went to a complete stop, went to an end after an explosion in Afghanistan, an IED, sent me to a coma for 4 months. Sent me to learn how to walk for almost 7 months. Taught me how to speak again, all over again, like a toddler. And at that point, I'm going to be honest with you, I was not even thinking about retiring at all. Truth to be told, if that explosion never happened today, it never happened back then, I probably wouldn't be making these videos, and I probably will still be serving in the military because that's what I love. I felt like a bird when they clip their wings and they cannot fly anymore. And I know there's a lot of other jobs out there, but I don't know. I always said that the military was my calling. At least that's what my recollection of my brain remembers. But yeah, I love these birds. If I open my eyes every morning and I come out here and I could hear them, it's a wonderful day. That means I'm alive. But yeah, back then, before that happened, I didn't have any money saved. I didn't have anything. Like, let's face it, you're in the military. You're not trying to become either famous or a millionaire. It doesn't work like that. But after my recovery, I thought that I was going to go back to active duty like nothing ever happened to me. Well, that lasted like another 4 months when I realized that everything that I was able to do before, I no longer can do with the same ability that I used to. And that was a hard pill to swallow because I just started this video telling you that I'm 46, retired, broken. But all this happened at 33. So imagine you being 33 years old and they're telling you, hey, bud, it's time for an early retirement. You would think they'd be super excited about that. But let's face it, you're 33 years old. You can do so much more with your life. You just have so much ahead of you. So now I'm like, what am I going to do now? Where I'm going to go back to? Like, I'm still not walking right. I'm still, at that point, I can barely speak okay. So communication was challenging. Trust me, to carry around a little notebook so you can write and communicate with other people, it gets tough. But that really didn't stop there. At least didn't stop me there at that time. I tried everything that I can possibly get to get back to active duty. I tried everything. They sent me back to Vegas because this was the homo record before joining. And I didn't have family over here. I didn't have anybody here. Like, all my friends moved out. God knows where they're doing. To come back not knowing who I am, to come back to a city that I barely remember, to start a new life like nothing happened. But if you thought that was my biggest problems, well, Try to land in Vegas with only $60 on your pocket. $60 to your name. The bus doesn't pick you up there at the airport, so you need to find transportation out of the airport to get and catch the bus. And I decided to get a cab to go to my new apartment that I haven't even seen because I got it all online. With $60 on my pocket. Let's say that the cab ride to my new apartment was $40. So that left me with $20. And now, because I got here past 5 o'clock, the apartment complex office was closed, so I still don't have my keys to my new apartment. So my first night back in retirement in Vegas, while I have my apartment, was sleeping in my balcony because it was the only thing that I have access to. So you're retired, you're broke, your whole body hurts because you're broken, your memory is still missing, you can barely speak because the screws on my jaw. And now I gotta spend my first night laying down on top of 4 duffel bags on the balcony of my new apartment. And on top of that, I will not get the keys till 8 o'clock the next morning. Maybe 9. I still remember I didn't get my keys till like almost 11 the next day. 11 in the morning the next day. Still, $20 on my pocket to go to the grocery store across the street because I didn't have no car. And try to spend at least the best $10 in eggs and whatever I can make stretch out in food until I can figure out this whole VA thing. So you can only imagine letting go what your whole entire life revolved around, which was my job, the military, to be facing all this at the same time. And on top of that, broke. Now I thought to myself, if this is what everybody's talking about, retirement, I really want this. I want to give this back. I don't want to be retired. It didn't give me any purpose. I'm over here, like, now I have to find a job. But how I found a job if I can't even speak that well back then to get it to pass an interview? My head was like spinning at that time. I'm like, I'm gonna end up like a Walmart greeter at 33. That was my noontime low. And don't get me started because a couple years later after that, I ended up homeless. Homeless. I want to say that was the hardest part of my whole life so far. Between being homeless and then later not being able to see my son for 7 years or even know anything about him for 7 years. You would think that would push me forward, but Words cannot describe how I felt. Retirement is, it can be the best thing or it can be a monster. And when you're still trying to figure out doctors, still trying to figure out how to get help, they don't make your life easier neither. If anything, they'll make it more complicated. I swear, the minute you tell them that you don't have a car, they'll tell you you need to go to that building, and then you go to this other place, and then you go to this other place. When you come back and look at everything you have to do, you probably won't do anything because you don't know where to start. Tough love for myself. There were weeks that I didn't eat more than one egg a day. There was days that I sneaked in hotels that had the continental breakfast and blend in with people and get Raisin Brands or whatever cereal I can get and just bolt out of there. That was life. That was my life. Having a sport car that's all I had. I had a tent, a sport car, a cat, and a litter box. Literally, that's all I had. And some clothes. I didn't even have a toothbrush. That's embarrassing. I never thought about retirement before because I always said that my job was so stressful that I probably never gonna make it out of the military alive. Literally, that was the way I thought about things. I was not doing it for the money. I was definitely not doing it for the retirement. So here we are. Still retired, broke, and broken. The only difference is that now I have some kind of income. Not much, but it gets me through it. Pays for the necessities, pays for a roof. Hopefully they don't keep increasing the rates of rent because I probably will have to figure things again. If you think that because I'm not homeless now, I'm out of that situation, out of that risk of losing it all again. No. At least my mind cannot live with the whole fact of this is never going to happen again. Because between you and I, this can happen many times all over again. If I take the wrong decisions, if I make the wrong decisions. Like trying to find a job. Well, you need internet. Well, I guess we're going to Starbucks, or I guess we're going to Burger King and buy some French fries and stay there for an hour. Because I couldn't afford a whole meal. And that sounds crazy because a meal is like $7, right? $6, $6.69, whatever it costs nowadays. And I can only afford the $2.99 fries, which now they're like $3 something. My biggest friend was Frosted Flakes and milk. And not just any Frosted Flake, the big family box of Frosted Flake, because it will last me longer. Because I could eat a cup of cereal instead of a bowl of cereal and stretch that for 2 months. All I have to do is continue buying milk, which is $2, $3. I keep sitting down and standing up because between my back and my leg, they cramp up. So you can see, I'm still going through this. Eventually, I'll have some kind of income. I don't know. I'll come out with something. I know that God has a plan eventually. Right now, the way I see it, the best thing that I'm doing right now to cope is making these videos, because maybe nobody watches this. Maybe it's just you and me, Gabe. You and me. But we both know that we're getting a lot of things out of the chest. We're getting a lot of things out of our brain, our head. And it's the garbage that lives in here that holds us back like an anchor. We don't need no enemies. We are our biggest enemies. If anybody wants to stop us right now on the tracks, that person is you, yourself, myself. If you're young and you haven't retired yet, or if you're older and you haven't retired yet, I suggest you start thinking about that. Because it sucks to get to retirement, and after you have been working 10, 15 years, 20 years, 40 years, whatever you've been working, to finally say, I'm retired, to then all of a sudden be what? Homeless? You worked this hard to be on the streets. Because that's what I'm telling you right now. That I'm telling you right now is exactly how it feels. You went through all these courses, you got all these medals, all these tabs. Whoop-de freaking do. All these commendation awards. Congratulations. You're on the streets. If that's not an eye-opener, my friend, my dear, I don't know what it is. Life has been tough. But to be honest, I think I wouldn't have it any other way, because I would have never opened my eyes and really see the real reality of what it is to be preparing yourself for the future. A future that you don't know, that I don't know, that nobody knows, only God. But it's up to you to live life at your fullest, make the best out of it. And if things get really hard, if you end up homeless, if you lose it all, you can lose everything. Life can take everything away from you. But you know what life cannot take? Life cannot take faith away, hope. And honestly, between you and I speaking right now, life cannot take anything that you're willing to rebuild all over again and again and again and again. Do I feel confident of what I'm doing in this channel? No. All I know is I'm going to build a community so big that one day I'm going to sit right here and probably cry to you, saying thank you. Thank you for believing in me. Because for the first time in 46 years, I am too. I am believing in me. God bless.